Have you been to the Board of Equalization any prior to this?
I have not.
Okay, so I'll explain the process for your board. The assessor is required to bring all the properties up to current market value each year and send it out with assessment notice, which you've done. If you disagree with that, you have the opportunity to work with them for any adjustments. If you can't come to terms with them, we convene as a Board of Equalization. We'll hear your information, with the assessor's information, come to a conclusion today. If you're not happy with our conclusion, you still would have the opportunity to appeal to the State Board of Tax Appeals, which convenes here, and we would provide you with all that. So before we begin, we swear everybody in.
Okay.
You solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So go ahead and explain why you think the assessor's office erred.
So I have 3 different ones. The Villa Vista, 1045 Villa Vista. I don't believe we're that far off. I thought maybe it was had it on the high side. I just didn't know if there's any in there. I thought we were really close to had it on the high side. It gives us 360. I know there's some comps that are similar to it, but that are brand new and sort of a few years older. Undamaged in the basement.
Can I ask questions on this? Yeah, I see your average is coming in a little lower than
the closest comparable we have is literally the next door neighbor. That's the one at the top that sold. This is the right next door, exact same size, exact same 1043.
Yes.
Yes. So it's identical in every way. Neighboring property, same size, everything. That one sold for $375 at 228 a square foot. So the average is maybe a bit lower, but obviously that one's going to be the closest comparable to the subject. Again, it's identical in every way, and it's sold for $375. We got the subject at $360.
so that one was February 2022. Do you feel like there's been any decrease in the market from that time till the end of the year?
In this price range, I really don't. Like we saw, if anything, those values went up for the first several months. They kind of peaked in June or July, and then they kind of plateaued. In that 300,000 to 400,000 mark, we really hadn't seen any kind of actual decrease in the sale prices until 2023.
Right now you're saying it's $218.50. Am I reading that right?
Yeah.
Square.
So that's taking the value, removing the land value, and dividing it by the square foot above ground.
Look at them. Do you have anything else?
I know one next door sold. Sometimes even next door sells higher than maybe what it's actually worth. I know you guys deal with that a lot.
You bet. That's why we don't.
Is it too much to ask for the average on this one?
So I would say if we had 4 houses that were identical in every way, certainly the average makes sense. The challenge is, I guess, Ritchie Estates is it's in Swan Valley area, or in Yukon area. So it's a little bit further outside of town. That might be where you're seeing a lesser sale price on those. Again, that Canyon Bridge one at 1043 Villa is obviously going to be our closest comparable in the market. It seems like, in comparison, when you look at the others that are out in Yukon and at Ritchie Estates, they're a bit lower and they're selling pretty consistently. So,
okay. Only one of them is lower.
Yeah, that 186 is dragging that down.
We're not quite sure why that one sold that way, because they sold in the same month and they're actually being neighbors. Yeah, they're sitting right next to each other. the 10640 and 10620.
The developer sold them.
Yes. I believe I can check on that real quick.
Yeah, that's the only reason I'm here today is I see things like this, and that's what's, yeah.
We also have those on there.
Yeah.
So the one ending 2F was sold by the developer. And 620.
That's less than 5,000 square foot lot versus 7,000 on the other two.
Yeah, 2C was also sold by the developer.
I don't know why that one's sold. I mean, it definitely stands out in comparison to the others. You look at the sell price of the others, taking that one outlier out right there. Again, in comparison to the neighbor property, which is the same sort of identical property.
Thoughts on this one?
I think we're right in line. At first it kind of jumped out to me that there might be more higher. I even disagree with that. Charles, on that.
Yeah, I don't see it.
So that they outside the sheets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would move that the whole value on this portion.
Okay, all in favor? Okay, I would invite us to reasonable appraisal. And move on to the next one. Which is
This is a duplex on the Sway properties.
okay, so we're just two sides of the duplex.
Yes. 3947 and 3951 Sway.
Where's Wayland Drive?
Oh, wait,
Shawnee.
Sway.
Do you know where Rocky Mountain Middle School is?
Right.
So they're in Red Rock, right across from Rocky Mountain Middle School.
All right, there in the corner.
Yeah.
Right by Red Rock.
This is in Red Rock.
This
yeah.
is in
Red
Rock.
Rock.
Yeah.
I talked to someone on the phone about this one. What jumped out to me, again, the reason I'm here is the 315. I felt was pretty comparable. I know it's on the low end. I'm not asking to be the low, obviously, but if we can meet somewhere.
And if you take out that low one, the average is going to be a lot higher than the 231 that she's already got it at. That low one obviously brings that down quite a bit. Again, we're not shooting for the higher, the lower, for the typical.
Yeah. So right now, what is the tax on this one?
One of them's valued at 348, 484, and one's valued at 357, 591.
Okay. Is 335, 340 somewhere there? Is that out of whack?
We don't have any sales. I mean, again, as we look through this, we've got one selling at 340. It's that one at 315. Again, the average is obviously significantly higher. If we're going by averages, there's nothing to indicate that 340 or 345 would be. Okay. And one of them's already at 348, it's pretty close to 345.
So right now you're saying that it's for, right now based off of the taxable appraisal amount, it's 229, 228.
Correct.
And 202 is below. But that's the only one that's.
And it is, as you can see, an outlier. It's significantly less than the other comparables.
It is there though.
Right, and
I
that's
mean,
what
we talked about Villa Vista, let's not ignore that it is
you're
there.
absolutely right.
Yeah.
And we have included it in that.
Okay.
And that 231.63.
Is there anything about your property that would make it where they would be significant?
Basements are unfinished, which I don't know if these comps are.
Yeah, so if you look at that line, they're all unfinished basements, they're all townhomes, just like this.
Okay, okay. No, other than that, no. 229 and 228. I can see where you can look at all these other ones. 202 is the outlier.
Even with that 315, I mean, the average sell price is 366,000. Even with that 315, that's an outlier.
Yeah.
Even with that 202, that's an outlier. The average dollar per square foot is 231. We're below the sell price and below the dollar per square foot.
So with property values having decreased significantly since December 31st, next year,
So
stuff will be significantly lower.
if the sales analysis indicates that these homes are selling for less than yes, they'll reflect the sell prices.
They'll reflect the decline.
I was gonna say that statement should be.
Yep.
Yeah, if it's,
Next year, 'cause we haven't seen that many years. I mean, right now, see, with the interest rates going up, it seems like it's so long, but yeah, it's hard to pick right back up, so.
Right.
Span of the year.
You take the January to December.
Yes, your value in your 2024 value will reflect the sales of 2023. So if the sales of homes in 2023 decreases from what they were in 2022, would see your assessed value reflect that. We'll do a sales analysis when the time comes at the end of the year and utilize all those sales. And if the market indicates that there's a decrease, then certainly that'll be.
And most over last year, it was going like this at the beginning, and then it flattened out, and that's why I looked to see where yours were. And there at the end of the year, where it was flattened out, so. Yeah. In the beginning, which I think was an advantage to, yeah, no.
This was the main one that I thought was high, that I really would like to get some movement on. Which ones you're willing, these chalet ones compared to those.
I mean, it's obviously not a decision for Mike, but I think that, again, looking at the average, not just pinpointing that one cell, but it's an outlier is low. We're under on dollar per square foot, we're under on sale price. Like I said, this average sale price of all five is 366, 300. We're below that on both properties. The average dollar per square foot at 231.63. We're under that as well. Again, that is accounting for that one sale price that does stand out, that 202.
I spoke to someone on the phone, I don't know who it was, that offered 340 or down a little bit. And the only reason I said no is just because of the outlier.
I couldn't go any lower than that. There was no way.
Okay.
That was even just being generous.
That was okay.
Well, wait a minute, let me understand, did you offer him 340?
I did. I gave him a 3% economic, the 340. But he turned it down, and I told him there was no way I could go any lower than that.
Sometimes as we're going through sales again, when we have a significant amount of calls, we're quickly pulling up comparables without the benefit of more time to be able to find more
Sales.
more finite comparables.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have a little bit of a problem with that, because we're not, we're not in the business to dicker. We're
No.
trying to get the right value.
Yeah.
Right. And the
That
challenge,
was offered, there must have been a reason for it.
again, it's the challenges when it's a disadvantage of the amount of time we have when we're looking through these. We've got, during our appeal season, especially this time, we had a lot, so we're quickly going through and quickly sorting through sales, and we're taxpayer on the phone, and we're sitting there meeting with the homeowner, getting a quick snapshot and saying, okay, based on the sales that I'm seeing with my quick, you know what I mean, obviously it'd be amazing if we had plenty of time to really do a thorough kind of search of everything each time. When we have those quick searches and we see a pattern or something, so at that time, I'm guessing Andrew probably saw that, okay, there's maybe a little room for adjustment. And then with that benefit of more time, being able to look, do a little more fine search and see that the average dollar.
And I'm not being critical, and I totally understand you guys were slammed this year.
No, so I was looking at his property. And if you look, he's 2018. So I went 2018 and under, just to, give him the benefit of the doubt. Some of his comps that he brought to me for 2021. So then afterwards, I brought in the 2021 to show he's right there. If that makes sense. And that was after I had offered the 3% to him.
Yeah, no, it totally does, and I totally respect the job that you guys do, and you've worked through, 600 leads in the last week? So you guys have done an incredible job. However,
I do buy the arguments of, accounts for 2015, 2017
Yeah,
being weighted upwards by 2021.
yeah, and so I didn't include those when I was talking with him,
Right, but we pulled it out.
because he added them to his. And so I was like, well, just so I could show,
Right. And I'm new at this, I
Yeah.
appreciate your patience.
oh yeah, most definitely.
So if we do, I know 2015 is a little older. 2021 is a little newer. Mine are 2018s. You have them at 229 square foot, roughly 228. So if we did the 340, what would that put me at square footage wise?
So 340.
What was the exact offer, 340?
340, 198.
Yeah, 340, 198.
And the non-switch.
I'll look at some on that. Was that on both of them? And just, or just I just one? I can't remember.
No, that was just on the one, and the reason for the second one to be higher is because your land size on that one is large, yes, larger.
Yep.
The land size is larger, but
That's what brings it up. From the 148.
what the improvement would be the same as the one that ends up 340.
At three,
And then that plan.
actually, at 340, it comes in at 222 a square foot. On 3947.
I'd be fine with that. That would be my motion, that on that one, basically, I think we heard that we adjust the value to 340, 198. And then the second property we leave as the assessor.
The improvement, this one will also be the same improvement value as this one.
Because it's the same.
What was the
No,
value?
I didn't offer that.
What was the?
I just got through the first one.
340, 198, as I said.
Yeah, it would be the improvement the same
Okay.
on the other side as this one. So it'd be 340, 198 minus the
It would
51.
be 350, 485.
350.
Took the 340, reduced, removed the 51,000 out of that value, added the 61,000 out of that value. It would be 350, 485.
350, 485. Okay. Is that good with your motion?
Yes.
Okay. John? Second? Yes.
And then the second one remains as,
No, so it's not.
so you're going
To both of them.
You're applying the same, the improvement, just going more because it's bigger lot.
okay.
So the other one was 350.
485.
Okay, and that'll be the final value that it looks like we're going to approve. We'll get this information to you along with information on the County Appraisers State Board. If you wish, you'll have 28 days to do that.
That's great.
This one, 340.
340, 198. Yeah.
Anything else? Okay.
No.
Thanks for your time, you guys.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
You bet.